Anyway, still to come, I'm going to be talking to one of the country's best-loved actresses. That's Michelle Collins. Plus, a genuine Hollywood legend, Mr. Robert Vaughn, is here. Thank you. Welcome back. Still to come, we've got the Hollywood legend himself, Mr. Robert Vaughn. He's going to be joining me on the sofa. That always sounds wrong to me, joining me on the sofa. Because I'm not actually on the sofa, am I? So how can he join me on the sofa? And it also sounds a bit risque. Don't you think we're going to be on the sofa together? I'm behind the desk, he's on the sofa anyway. But it's time now to meet my first guest. Now, she's been a ruling queen of Soapland for many a year, but after hanging up her apron as the landlady of The Rover's Return, she'll soon be taken to the stage. Will you please welcome Michelle Collins?
A little present for Paul.
Oh, he's lovely.
This is Humphrey.
Oh, look
at him. Out. Come on.
Where did you get Humphrey from, Michelle? Isn't he lovely?
Humphrey is from, he's a rescue dog from a charity called All Dogs Matter in Highgate. And I lost my dog, sort of tragically, and I said I'd never get another dog.
Well, you always say that, don't
you? And about 3 months later, somebody introduced me to him, and he was 5 months old. He was taken to the pound.
Oh, look at him.
And, I mean, look at him. How could you not? And now he's about 3. He's
look at the tongue.
3.
He's fabulous, isn't he? He's so well behaved.
I know. He loves that basket. Honestly, it's not dog abuse. It really isn't.
Yeah. I saw him in makeup, like, getting in his little basket.
He loves you. No, he's just gorgeous.
Oh, he's a sweetheart.
Yeah.
Just well, Olga hasn't seen. She'll appear in a minute, like the Wicked Queen, stand over there going, well, anyway, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
Do you know, I was recalling your 30th birthday party when we all got chucked out of that hotel.
You're in the book.
I know, for making all that noise.
It was in the Grand Hotel in Brighton, and I think I booked the upstairs and said I was having a little party, and then we took crates of wine in, crates of beer, and then about, I don't know, it was a lot of people. How many? 100 or so? 80, 100, over 100?
Yeah.
I think we were there for about half an hour and they told us we had to go.
Yeah.
It was good fun, though.
It was.
We went for dinner before, didn't we? It was good fun.
What we got in the hotel was a hoose. Aren't they miseries, eh? Coming up and chucking us out.
Oh, yeah, those were the days.
All
the
we were doing. We were hanging our beard out the window by the ankles. That's all we were doing, having a bit of fun.
The 90s, that's what I say. No, there's a lot of stories like that in the book.
There's loads. I recall reading the book, seriously. I wasn't there, but I thought, I remember when, because Paul Cottingham and stuff like that, and Cashman would tell me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it's... I mean, obviously, you've been hugely successful in your books.
It's a nightmare writing them, isn't it?
It is, but it is cathartic, and it's very therapeutic. But what's really funny is it took me, I suppose, about 3 or 4 months to write the book, but I actually found a diary of mine last week. I was clearing the house of 1979 here. And I've got to read you. It's so funny, Paul. My daughter's 17, and I was 17 in 1979. I had 2 jobs. I was at college. I had a job in McDonald's. I had a job in the Rock Garden, and I was doing a play at college. And I've got to read you one of the things. It says, where is it here? Had a row with Mum today. She wouldn't let me go out to Ray's party. Not speaking to her. Next day, still not speaking to Mum. Went to the music machine. Where is it? Went to see the Necrophiliacs. Went to see... Yeah, there was a band.
Were they a punk band, the Necrophiliacs?
I was a punk. Yeah. There's a lot of it in the book. Went to see the Damned. But this is the funniest, what I had for my... I used to write a food diary. And I've written a slice of toast, Alpen, a cup of tea, then for lunch I had a bottle of Peels. A salmon sandwich...
Lager, not tablets we're talking about.
A salmon... Oh, yes. A salmon sandwich, chips, 2 hamburgers and sweet corn.
You were doing well, Michelle.
Anyway, but it was great finding that. I thought, oh, I wish I'd found that before I'd written the book. But it was great. I loved... you know, growing up in the 60s and 70s, writing about that, and obviously the 80s, and... No, it's great. I think everyone should write a book.
I do as well, actually, yeah. Because when you get into it, when you get into the flow, it's great, isn't it? But it's when you're stuck there thinking, what can I do now?
Yeah, I mean, I did have a ghostwriter because I was on a very... I only had, like, 4 months to write it. You wrote yours yourself, didn't you?
Yeah.
But it has given me a sort of a flavour to maybe do
Why don't you
some
write a
more,
novel
actually.
or something?
Yeah,
or...
no, I'd quite like to. I've got a bit more time on my hands now, which is nice.
Are you missing Corrie?
I'm missing my friends on Corrie.
I was going to say, I bet you miss all the people.
Yeah, I mean, I miss my daughters. I miss Catherine Tilsey and Jane, and I miss Sue Johnson, who I love, and Sue's very much a doggy person as well.
I know.
But you know, it was sort of 3 years. I just went booked. Do you hear that? I went booked.
You went what?
Booked.
Instead
of
you went all northern.
What am I doing?
And grass and bath.
But no, it's nice to be back. You know, my daughter's... In fact, she starts her AS levels tomorrow. She's got history tomorrow.
Can't believe she's... I mean, I remember when she was a baby.
I know.
Oh,
I know.
shocking, isn't it?
She's going to be 18 in September.
Oh, don't tell me that.
And she hasn't got a job. I had 2 jobs. She hasn't got a job. She's
you have to get her out. Say to her, get out there, throw her out. Say, go on, off you go.
I think, you know what, it's very different these days.
Yeah.
I think they seem to... She studies so much and works so hard that, you know, and her lives are very different.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't force her into getting a job, and thankfully she doesn't need to get a job. But, you know, I had a very sort of different life.
You could always get a part-time job in a bar or a pub, couldn't you? No, really.
Oh, me or her?
No, mate, you. No, when we were, you know, like when I was a teenager, I worked for the civil service and I had 2 jobs, one in a pub and one in a club.
Yeah.
So I was working I mean, you know...
I worked in a bar up until, I think, the day before I started EastEnders in 1988. And then I thought, oh, I can't work in here anymore. I'm now on the telly 3 times a week, so I've got to, you know... Yeah. But,
I was casualty, I was that. I thought you were going to take things a bit easy when you left Corrie, you know.
I know, but I was tempted a bit, Paul. I finished Corrie on Wednesday and they offered me 3... Eps, and I thought, oh, no, I'm going to do it, and I started on the Monday. Yeah. And, no, you know what, it was great. It was great fun, very different.
Were you in bed in Casualty? Was it lovely? You know,
I'm only in bed a little bit, not as much as you were in bed.
I loved it, because I just went, a lovely job, that's it, go in and go to bed. And they said you can look as rough as you like, because you're ill. It was fabulous. I didn't have a shave, I didn't have a wash, nothing. Didn't even comb my hair. I stunk. All the actors kept away from me. I like medical dramas. Mine
wasn't quite as fortunate as that. Yeah, no, I really loved it. As I said, I only did 3 eps. And you know what? I just want to be a jobbing actress again and just do as much as I can. And I'm doing a play after this in London, which is great.
What's this play? Tell me about it.
It's called The Glass Supper, and it's on at the Hampstead Theatre. The Kinks is on there at the moment, which is doing really, really well. I mean, it's a very... There's 2 theatres, and I'm in the theatre that's only 100-seater, which is going to be really scary.
Oh, yeah.
But scary, but, you know, you need a bit of a challenge, I think, and something out of a comfort zone. So
I don't like seeing the whites of their eyes.
No. You just don't look at the audience, do you?
You sort of look above and look in all this business when they're tiny venues.
I haven't done theatre for before I did Romeo and Juliet, before I did Corrie, so it's going to be a good 3.5 years, so... But it's in London, and it's great.
A ball, what you're talking about?
Yeah, and I'm the only woman, which is great. It's got 4 men in it, and I'm the only woman.
Oh, you'll be made a fuss off.
So I get my own dressing room, maybe. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Do you know when you were saying about you worked in the bar and all that, did you realise how much Cindy Beale would change your life when you went into EastEnders?
No, I mean, not at all, and I've written that in the chapter in the book about Julia Smith, who was a really formidable character. She was one of the first female directors on TV, and then she became a producer, and she was the one that... Basically, EastEnders was Julia Smith, wasn't it? And Tony Holland. And when I went up for it, I was only up for 11 episodes, but she said... She gave me the part there and then on the spot and said, do you want to go downstairs and meet everyone? And I was like, no, God, I don't want to do that. Because it was huge. You know, EastEnders was getting 19, 20 million viewers at that time. And she said, you know, you do know that this is going to change your life. And obviously you go, yes, but of course you don't know. I mean, it was enormous. And it literally does... You know, 1 minute you're... Well, I was a jobbing actress, but 6 weeks later, when you're on screen, your life does completely change.
Well, you're in everyone's home, you know, aren't you? How many times a week?
Yeah, and I think, you know, being in a soap isn't just being an actor, it's 24/7. It's much harder these days because, you know, your time really isn't your own.
And the hours that you all work, I mean, are just... Honestly, 5 o'clock in the morning, you're up. When I was doing Holby, back of a motorbike to Elstree at past 6.
Motorbike?
Yeah, one of those motorbikes. Getting there like the wrath of God, thrown in the bed, and then you finish at 7, and then you go home and you've got a load of stuff to learn.
See, we drove ourselves in Corrie, so we have to drive ourselves. But being in the Rovers, that was... I mean, we were literally on set. You're in makeup at 7, on set for 8. Probably don't finish till 7-ish. And then when you go home, you've got to learn your lines, so it doesn't really stop. But it's also, you know, it's good fun as well. It's not all...
Well, look, we've got... Can you cope with a classic clip of Cindy? can you?
Yes.
Go on, let's have... Well, no,
Yes.
we're doing nostalgia with the book in your diary. Let's have a
Okay.
look at Cindy
Yeah,
as
there's
well.
a lot going on with my... Well, my daughter's just been murdered, isn't she?
That's right,
In it.
yes.
One of
Shocking.
them.
Not in real life.
No,
Look, it's the ups and downs of marriage. I know we all get cheesed off with it. Look, we get through it because we're married, all right? We get through it because of Stephen. Look, Stephen's ours, nothing's going to change
No,
that.
Ian, that's the point. He isn't.
He isn't what? What are you trying to say?
Look, before we got married, I won't say it didn't matter because it did. And I've tried, Ian, but...
Cindy, have you been drinking?
Ian, listen! I hate to think what this is going to do to you, but... Stephen isn't your son. I can't lie to you anymore. You're not Stephen's father. Ian!
Do you find it weird when you look back, you know, and you see that? Can you remember what you were doing that day and all that?
No. God, I mean, it just feels like a totally different person
Yeah.
that I was ever that person. I mean, what was going on with my hair? Had I ever heard of a hairdresser? I mean, those roots. People used to write into me about my roots and say, when is Cindy ever going to get her roots done?
Yeah, but it suits the character.
Oh, well, that's what... I was a method actor,
Yeah,
I
exactly,
was a
of
method
course,
actor.
of course. I mean, you worked in a chippy, didn't you, to get it in?
Oh, they sent us for training.
Yeah.
Adam Woodyard and I, and we had to go to this chip shop in Wembley. Yes, it was the most embarrassing day of my life, I think. But
Is
no,
there any
Adam looks... How young does Adam look?
Oh, God, he's got a little embryo, doesn't he, there, Miss
God.
Penny? Is there any truth you're doing Strictly? Because that's been in the papers. There is.
No.
When they go...
No. I have been approached, but...
Yeah.
But no, I probably won't be doing
Yeah,
it.
no, it's a killer.
No.
Look at Paul Scott.
Have you done it?
Have I? I'm doing strict. What? Doing the tango 8 hours a day? You're joking,
You do
aren't
it.
you?
You should do it.
No, I don't want to do it.
Oh, you know what? I'm not a good enough dancer,
I'm
and
not.
I can't take criticism. I tell the judges to go and...
I'd attack him. I'd have Craig Revel-Warburton over the desk going, what do you say about me? Michelle, it's a great book. You're a great person.
Thank
Your dog's
you.
lovely. And
Thank
thanks for
you.
coming on the show. And good luck
so
with the
good.
play. He's the best. Ladies and gentlemen, Michelle Collins. He's a sweet horse, aren't you, darling? Oh, he's lovely. OK. Be warned, because it's time now to meet my next guest.
Oh,
OK, Michelle. I'm thinking of a bit of trouble here.
Oh.
Go easy on me, please. I'm a virgin. Oh. Oh, my God. Yay! And for Danique Abhishek from the cast of Limbo, which is currently playing at the London Wonderground until the 17th of August. Now, I have to say this. Don't do this at home. No, just to get one of them out. You never know. You know, oh, we'll get the ladder out, shall we, Stan? You hold it while I climb up it. Now set fire to it. Fire. Oh, come on, give him a big round of applause. That's brilliant. And now you know... Now you know why me and Michelle got thrown out of that hotel. We did the ladder act. And look, if you want more information about that fabulous act, then please go to our website. Still to come, we've got Mr. Robert Vaughan. He's here, and I'm going to be taking a master class in dribbling. Just get on with it. See you after the break. Thank you very much. I'm here with Michelle Collins. We're just discussing the old days. Do you remember all the clubbing days? Could you do it now, Michelle?
Oh, no.
No, nor me.
I absolutely couldn't.
I couldn't be bothered, could you?
If I go out, which isn't very often, it takes me 3 or 4 days to recover these days.
And me? I have a note on my toe saying, do not resuscitate. See this? I'm lying, I can't do it no more. Shocking. Coming up anyway, apparently I'm going to be putting my ball skills to the test. My ball skills... my ball skills to the test. You know, that type of thing. And anyway, but it's time now to meet my next guest. Now, he's the acting great with a career spanning nearly 60 years, and he's currently thrilling audiences in the new West End drama 12 Angry Men. You went to see it,
I've seen it. It's
We'll discuss
fantastic.
this at great length. Will you please welcome Mr. Robert Vaughan?
Yes, how are you? Been a while, yes.
Sit yourself down,
Yeah.
sir.
How are you?
Hi, hello.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Oh, it's good to see you again. It
Yes,
really
how long
is.
it's been? What, 10 years, 5 years, 7 years? I don't know.
About 4 years, I
About
think.
4, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm never good at math.
You were the show when we had gravy wrestling. Do you remember?
Yes,
Yeah, and they threw Joyce in with the 20-stone wrestler.
Yeah, I
She
remember
swore.
that. Yeah. What happened to Humphrey?
Oh, he's gone for a rest.
Gone for a rest.
He's gone off with Olga. She's probably teaching him bad things now
Ah,
upstairs.
Olga, they do that, don't they? Yeah.
12... Now, Michelle's been to see the play, 12 Angry Men. It was a wonderful film. It's a Henry Fonda, that movie.
That's right.
Yeah.
Henry Fonda did
Yeah.
the original movie. It was done again as a movie with Jack Lemmon in that role.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and it's been done on television quite often.
And how's it going in the West End? Good?
Enormously successful. We were supposed to close March 1st, and we're still shooting for June 14th closing now.
Yeah,
May
wonderful.
even go on past that, I don't know.
Did you enjoy it, Michelle?
I loved it. And my friend Nick Moran was in it.
yes, yeah.
So I came to see Nick. I didn't really know too much about it. And my boyfriend, who doesn't go to theatre that much, came with me. And, you know, it's one of the best things I've seen in the West End.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant.
I've heard that.
And all the characters were just amazing. And it's such a clever story.
It's very unusual because all 12 actors come on stage at the beginning of the show. They don't leave the stage till the end of the show at
And
all.
everyone has great...
And everyone
you know,
has their moments, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
no, it's
terrific.
great. I wish they do something with the 12 Angry Women. That would be
They've
great.
done it with 12 Angry
They
Men.
do. It's called Loose Women.
The
in
women.
Yes. Now, your character is called the Old Man.
He is called the Old Man.
Yeah.
What
Is
he
he the
did.
wise one of the
He's the
jury?
wise old bird, yes,
Yeah.
who eventually, toward the end of the show, decides that the two key witnesses for the prosecution are flawed, and he proves how they're flawed, and they get the boy off. at
You're the
end.
sanest one in the...
I'm the only sane one, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because that's right. It's about a boy who's accused of murdering his father, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
he's accused of murdering his father. They seem to have cinch evidence. People have seen him drive the knife into the body. Another person heard it, and so on. and it's all flawed evidence, which is quite possible in the American jury system. Tom Conti, incidentally, is doing it now.
I saw it in Martin
You saw
Shaw,
Martin Shaw,
but it's Bill Kenwright, and he's so clever at doing things like that and changing over the cast and keeping it really fresh.
Fresh, yeah.
Well, it's a wonderful cast, and one of the wonderful things is I know I'm going to get at least a half a dozen laughs in the half hour before the show because they're all so funny in this dramatic show. They're not funny in the play, they're just funny people.
Yeah, no, I really, really enjoyed it. It's fantastic.
I'm glad.
But 8 shows a week, isn't that very strenuous?
Well, from many in the cast, but I come on stage, sit down, and I don't get up till the end of the show. I sit in one chair the entire time.
It's a nice down chair.
One of the reasons I took the part, as a matter of fact.
That's why I took hold, because I lay down.
And Robert, I served you in the Rovers. I don't know if you remember me. I was the lady behind the bar. And the
Of
Rovers,
course you did.
Yeah, I served you in the Rovers.
Yeah,
but you had all your wonderful stories with Stephanie Cole.
Yes, we sang together.
Yeah, and we used to sort of pass each other a bit in the green room, but I don't know if you remember me. You probably don't. But it was. Did you enjoy it?
Yes, I loved doing it. Yeah. And I'm going to see her in a play that she's doing here in the St. James Theatre, Stephanie Cole.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I must go and see
I love Stephanie Cole. Oh, because you were Stephanie Cole's, what's the word, squeeze that you'd met on a cruise.
Inamorata is a good
that's
word.
it, yeah. We say squeeze in Birkenhead. We do. But this is your first time in the West End in your career. Why is it taking so long?
Nobody asked.
Oh, that's well, there you go. Ask the question, get an honest
I'm available,
answer. But you've been living here on and off, haven't you, since the 60s?
Yeah, I first came here for a stay of any kind, a show called The Protectors in the early 70s.
Loved it.
Which was,
Loved it.
And then I did 8 years with Hustle, which just ended a couple of years ago. And now this is 9 months on stage with this show. And I've lived in a different place every time. I've lived in Chelsea, I lived in Kensington, I lived in Knightsbridge, I lived in Belgravia, lived on the Chelsea Pier. Currently I'm in Berkeley Square. If you want to drop by and say hello, I'll buy you a drink.
I noticed there's no Camden Town, none of that.
No, Camden Town, no. Peckham, yeah.
Peckham. Have you ever been to Peckham?
No, I haven't.
Oh, well, I'll take you to Peckham. Now, your wife was a huge... You met your wife on The Protectors, didn't you?
I met her on The Protectors. Yeah. Well, I met her before The Protectors, but that was the first time we worked together was on The Protectors.
And she's a huge fan of British television. Is this true?
She is not only a huge fan, she can answer any question dealing with any of the comedies on British television. She watches Mock the Week religiously. She watches all the news shows. She's a walking fountain of information about British comedy.
The Delphic Sybil.
The Delphic, yes, from Chicago.
Well, look, we've got a clip of you two together, and this is from The Protectors.
I called her and told her this was going to be on. She said, I don't want to watch the show. I cannot watch myself. Goodbye.
I put her on the counter next to me. And when I was done registering, I turned around and she was gone. The basket was gone, the bow was gone, and the dog was gone.
What kind of a dog is it?
She's just a little poodle. It's a little tiny one.
Tiny. Now, how tiny is tiny?
Huh? She only weighs 2 pounds.
Color?
She's white. Looks like a little snowball.
Okay. Sex?
No, she's just a puppy.
Every time I see The Magnificent Seven, I love that movie, I always wonder, was it a pecking order on that film?
Well, in the sense that the only star in the film when we made the film was Yul Brynner, who had just won the Academy Award for The King and I a few years before. But the actors who were in the film that eventually became certainly big stars, Stephen McQueen, James Coburn, Charlie Bronson, and so on, all came out of that movie with major careers. Not necessarily as a result of the movie, but it just happened that we all got together at the time. And up until that time, they were all just kind of working actors, as was I.
Because you thought it was going to bomb, didn't you, at the time?
Well, the reason I thought it was going to bomb was it was based on a Japanese movie by Kurosawa called The Magnificent Seven, but there was no script at all. All we were told that there was this story we were going to do. So we went down to Cuernavaca, Mexico, which is a suburb of Mexico City. It's called the Palm Springs of Mexico City. It is not the Palm Springs. I think that's right. I was sick from the day I got there till the day I came home. You know. But anyway, what they would do, they would, under the doors of where we were living, they'd put in handwriting our lines for the next day.
Oh. Wow,
that's when we got
like
them.
a Mike Leigh film or
Isn't
something,
it?
isn't it?
Yeah, very much so.
Scary. So you only had You didn't have very long to learn it, either.
No, like seconds almost, you know, you get it?
No, no.
And we thought, well, this has got to really be a bomb. Of course, it's after Casablanca, it's the most off-played movie on American television.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
You must have had women chucking themselves at you after that, including Judy Garland.
Judy Garland.
Now, didn't she try her luck with you in a hotel?
Well, what happened was her second to last... What was that?
They've got low minds. I mean, as soon as they said try their luck in a hotel, they conjured up an image that is not what we're talking about.
Her second to last husband was a friend of mine, and we went to college together. His name was Mark Heron. And I went to a thing at the Beverly Hilton Hotel, black tie. And I came in by myself, which was not unusual for me, and he was dancing with Judy, who he was married to at the time. And she was quite intoxicated, obviously, at the moment that I got there. And she said, Robert, come over, I want you to dance with me. And I said, well, not right now, thank you. So time went by, she drank more and more. And I noticed that she had a cast on her right wrist, which had no meaning to me, except when she finally did demand that I get up and dance with her, we're dancing around. This was, incidentally, Burton and Taylor were the guests of honor that night. It was right during their big romance. And so they had built a long rope line so that the press couldn't get anywhere near them. So I was dancing with Judy, and suddenly the hand that had the cast around the wrist went for the family jewels. And I was absolutely, to say the least, stunned beyond imagination. And all of a sudden, all these lights start blinking away. And I thought, oh, my God, this is going to be on the front page of every paper in the world.
National Enquirer.
Well, this was many years ago, and I say blessed the press at that time, because in good taste, none of them ever appeared at all.
Yeah.
And Judy was dead shortly after that.
And she probably wasn't very well at that time,
No,
was
she
she?
was very ill.
Yeah. How did you get on with Betty Davis?
Well, that also had drink involved. Jack Webb, who was a big producer in American television, wanted to do a television series with a very liberal mother and a very conservative son in a law firm. And Betty was going to play the liberal mother. So I went out to meet her at her lovely home, and I noticed she had a bottle of Cutty Sark Scotch sitting on the table, which I happened to be drinking at the time. I thought, she's done some homework here, I guess. So this was about 1 o'clock, and I invited for 1 o'clock. It'll probably be lunch coming up now at 2 o'clock. 3 o'clock, no lunch. 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, no lunch. Another bottle of Cutty Sark comes out. And she's fine. I cannot see her at this point. And then she says to me, she says, oh, I'd love to have you drive down to Wilshire Boulevard. My daughter's getting her high school graduation. And I said, well, Miss Davis, not only can I not drive, I cannot see you. Oh, don't worry, I'll drive. And she drove perfectly fine down there, quite about a 20-minute drive. That was my one meeting with Betty. The show was never done, incidentally.
But yeah, I mean, you've met all these wonderful people. You were Jack Nicholson's acting teacher. And
Jack was in a class of mine, and he tried to do a scene from Bus Stop, the stage play Bus Stop.
It was in Marilyn Monroe, wasn't it?
Yeah. And he was trying to do the part that was played in the movie by Don, I've forgotten his name anyway. And anyway, time went by, and Jack did a lot of pictures for Roger Corman. And so on one afternoon, it was the late 60s, he came to me, and he said, you know, he always called me Vaughnie. What do you say, Vaughnie? How you doing, man? How they hanging, huh?
Did it annoy you?
Annoying you. How you, Vaughnie? Yeah. So he said, I've been in this fucking business now for 2 years. 2 years. He said, I can't earn the money. I owe my wife. I got kids. I want to give myself 2 more years, then I'm going to be out of this business. You understand, Vaughnie? I'm gone, man. Well, 2 years later, he did Easy Rider, and the rest is history.
Exactly. Yeah. Robert, it's really lovely to see you again.
Thank you very much.
Good luck with the play.
Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it, please, Mr. Robert Vaughan. Come on. Still to come, I'm going to be using my ball skills as I learn some basketball moves. That's going to be fun, believe you me. So don't go anywhere. See you after the break. Thank you. Welcome back. Now, my next guest is a London teenager who's being touted as the next Michael Jordan after receiving an exclusive scholarship to go and train in America. And here he is to tell us all about it. Let's hear it, please, for Marcel Thomas-Lee and his coach, Rob Weeder. Marcel, nice to meet you. Rob. Listen, congratulations on this scholarship. How did it come about? How did this happen?
Well, basically, after, starting basketball, 4 years ago, I recently thought I was good enough to play in America after training constantly. So, I sent a video to him in America, to a university, and I got replies.
I mean, it's nothing... Yeah, how's that for enterprising? Rob? I believe there's a huge bidding war over him. There's a big bidding war, isn't there, going on over him?
Well, since his application's come in, we've had about 5 universities that come and said, you know, we've got a place for him, so it's really exciting.
Have you been playing it since you were little?
I was playing since I was little, but, I got more competitive when I started playing in Southgate College.
Because you haven't finished growing yet, have you?
Almost.
No, because I thought you had to be 28 feet, you know, to be like some of them. But you're inspiring local kids, aren't you, by doing this? This is brilliant.
Because of the basketball programme in Barnet and Southgate College, we get qualifications to coach basketball and other sports in primary schools.
Yeah.
So I hope to inspire them so they can become professional basketball players.
So there'll be all these English kids over there playing basketball?
Yeah. Hopefully.
Rob, what do you think? Do you think he's got what it takes? Hang on a minute, I'm yakking. Every time you make a sound here, they start clapping. Honestly, like a load of sea lions, really. Do you think he's got what it takes to become an NBA star?
I think I've worked with him for the last 4 years and seen his dedication and commitment. I mean, he's got so far. I mean, and this is just the start of his journey, so we wish him well.
Yeah. I love the fact that you said... Throw it out. Tie it to a Zimmer frame, throw it in the Thames. Can you show us some moves? Don't copy this, you lot, please, when you get home. We've already had flaming ladders.
Yeah, definitely. Hold this.
OK. Don't you need the ball? No.
Come, guys, let's go. Whoa, 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 whoa,
Bit rough for me, Marcel. All right, it's time for us to have a go now. And I believe you want us to shoot some hoops.
Yeah.
Is that the expression?
For you,
OK. First of all, what advice to shoot a hoop? I don't even know what I'm talking about here.
Well, first of all, I'm going to try to spin the ball in your finger.
Yeah.
So what you do is you get the ball in your hand like this, and you spin it, and you...
Hopeless, so I failed that, so I might be sending in a video.
No. One more go. So you spin it, and you catch it.
Oh, nearly. Hang on.
Okay.
This is a dummy ball.
Next we're gonna do dribbling through your dribbling. So you got to cross over.
Oh, he's looking good.
Do you want to have a go at dribbling?
Yeah.
Robert? Now, you should be able to play this, Robert.
I can dribble, but not with a basketball.
Oh, right.
Next we're going to do a shot. Next we're going to do shots.
We'll have to give him a ball now.
So what you do...
Oh, I like shots.
Yeah.
Jaeger bombs.
Yep, so what you got to do is...
Get some balls for you guys.
Is you hold the ball like this.
Yeah.
Balls for you guys.
Shoot.
OK. Can I do it with one hand?
Yeah.
I nearly swore there. Oh, it's hard! Go on, Robert, you have a go. I bet you do it.
No, I don't think so.
Go on.
Oh! Exactly. I don't even want to like that. No, that's not good enough.
Give us some tips.
I used to play netball, wing attack, a goal shooter. Oh!
You see, it's easy. It's not.
No, it's
Can I
not.
have another go? I'm determined to crack
quite
this if it
addictive.
kills me. I'll just get a bit closer. Sharp, I've got varifocals on, I can't see. I can't even get it when I'm close. Anybody else want another? Can we have a... Do you want to go another go, Michelle?
Oh, I'll have another
go
go.
on.
See if
You're
I
the
can get it
netball
in.
queen.
And it's in.
No. Marcel, who do you think has the most potential out of the three of us?
I think you are.
Me?
Yeah.
You're joking, aren't you? I don't believe it. Marcel, listen, seriously, good luck with all this. I tell you what, I can't wait to see a huge star all over the papers over there in America.
Thank you.
And I think what you've done is remarkable. Don't you, though, really? Yeah. Give the lad a big round of applause. Well, oh. What's this for?
For not scoring.
But I didn't score, though. But it's very nice of you all the same.
This is good.
Thank you. Is it pawnable?
It'll inspire you.
Come on, let's hear it, please, for Marcel and Rob. Come on. Well, that's it for tonight. A big thank you to all my guests, to the lovely Michelle Collins. Buy a book. It's got all the filth in it, all the filth. Mr. Robert Vaughan goes with the play. The cast of Limbo, and of course, let's hear it, please, for Marcel, Rob, and all the lads. Come on. Come on over, we've got Sanjeev Bhaskar, Meera Sayal, and Rupert Everett. So I'll see you tomorrow night. Look after yourselves. Have something nice for your tea. See ya.